Hi everyone, it's Matthew from Time for United. So today is the anniversary of the Munich Air Disaster that killed a lot of our players on February the 6th, 1958. So I just wanted to do a video talking about this because I suppose it's very important for our history, and it is important because it basically gave us the foundation of how we are as a club today, like bringing through young players, give them a chance, watch them flourish, things like that. And a lot of it relates back to that time, because that's what we did. We brought a lot of young players that were unknown, put them together into a team, let them gel, and they won 2 league titles in a row. I believe it was 1955, 1956, and they were allowed to then play in the European Cup at that time. So basically what happened was, for those you don't know, they played I think it was a quarter-final against Red Star Belgrade, which is in Serbia. So they went to Belgrade, played the match. I can't remember the score. I think it was something like 3-2 United or something like that. And they went to try and fly, obviously, back to Manchester. But unfortunately, at the third attempt they tried to take off, I believe the plane skidded into a ditch and it crashed, which killed, I believe it was over half of our players, including people like Liam Whelan and Duncan Edwards, and David, I think it's David Pegg as well. So, and then there were survivors from that. Obviously, Bobby Charlton survived, and Matt Busby, and Harry Gregg, who there's the story about Harry Gregg, who's our keeper at the time. He pulled a lot of the players out of the plane and helped to basically save their life, and got into hospital. So he's revered quite a lot in the history of Manchester United as well, because he's the one that saved the players that you could save. So he's got quite a high standard as well. And ever since then, we've kind of used that mantra as a building block for our club. And then obviously 10 years later, with Sir Matt Busby still as manager, because Jimmy Murphy was the one that helped to manage the team whilst Matt Busby was recovering from his injuries in the hospital. And shortly after that, Matt Busby took over again. And 1968, as we all know, we won the European Cup at Wembley against Benfica, which I believe we beat them 4-1. With a couple of goals from George Best, obviously, and Bobby Charlton. So it was poignant that then especially Bobby Charlton scored to obviously win the European Cup as well. I believe he scored the winning goal as well. So it's even more sort of poignant in that sense. But this is part of the reason why I support Man United. I've been supported for sort of 25, 30 years now. And also when I was growing up, we had players like David Beckham, Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, Wayne Rooney, all these great players. I could go on all day with the players that we had. And you can sense that there was always space for young players to come through. Obviously, people like Wes Brown, John O'Shea, obviously recently, Marcus Rashford, obviously more recently Kobe Mainoo, players like that. And a lot of that is down to what happened back then, and using that as a sort of foundation to do that. And usually on the weekend games, so like, for example, tomorrow's game against Tottenham, there'll probably be a minute's silence, saying like, we will remember them. There's always like a vigil, either today or over the weekend, to remember as well, because there's a vigil outside of Old Trafford as well. So and my dad sometimes tells me stories about it as well. Obviously he wasn't born at that time, but his dad that was born at the time, talking about it as well. So yeah, I felt it was important to make this video to respect and remember the people that did die, because I think it's important to remember that. I mean, obviously, the owners we have at the moment, the Glazers and Jim Radcliffe, obviously at the moment, are, I mean, the Glazers have kind of ruined this football club in a lot of ways, as we all know. And Jim Radcliffe is doing a great job at the moment in terms of what they're doing. So I think it's just important to remember that time and use it as a kind of motivation, I suppose. We're going through hard times, which we have done obviously recently. So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts. Let me know when you start supporting the club. What if you know a lot about the Busby Babes, or or even correct me on whatever I've said, if it's wrong or not. I apologise if it is wrong. Anything I've said, but yeah, if you can like, share, subscribe to the video, I greatly appreciate that, and I'll see you in the next video.